confident are you that Antonio Brown could last the entire season, the whole season, all the games with the Seahawks?
Not confident at all. Because all the confidence would come from, as everyone keeps talking about, is, well, you know, he has to know that this is the last chance. After everything he's been through, you would think if I were him, I'm not confident at all. Because we've said that many times before about Antonio Brown. Think of how much rationalizing we've all done. First, when he forced his way out of Pittsburgh, what's he doing? Oh, he's crazy like a fox. He got paid. And as soon as he got paid, what did he do? He never got on the field. He never even got on the field with an organization that just seemed to support him. From the front office to the coach to the other players, all they're saying is good things about him. And then he's throwing them all under the bus and acting a fool. And then Stephen A. kept saying he had to shut his mouth till when, Stephen A?
Tuesday.
And
it was a Thursday, and he needed to shut his mouth.
This is the most unbelievable story of all time. Say it again.
It was a Thursday. All he had to do was shut the hell up until that Tuesday, and he would have been guaranteed his $29 million.
$29 million guaranteed.
$29 million, life-changing, generational wealth.
You can't shut up for 4 days?
Oh, my God.
He couldn't do it. And then he throws everyone under the bus and almost tries to, like, break the law doing it, right? He's recording people without their knowledge, and he's releasing stuff about Juju Smith-Schuster, thinking it makes him look bad, when really it's just Juju being humble and saying he looks up to him and stuff. Like, his judgment is so out of whack. And then he's posting stuff on social media about his personal life that makes him look worse. And he's doing it in a way because he feels like he's the victim. Then he winds up in New England and on the way in the door makes the same mistake, puts in writing, even if he feels he's being extorted and he doesn't think he's guilty of some crime. What he put in writing is stupid, if not just mean, right? What he was sending to those women,
yeah.
But also doubly stupid because he just got in trouble for it. He did it again on the way in the door in New England, and then on the way out the door again, he throws Robert Kraft under. Like, he can't stop burning bridges. So now we think, okay. And then he gets suspended and everything. Now we're thinking, okay, he has to know. Remember, he enrolled in school, and then he put on social media that he was looking for someone to do his paper for him. Like, Antonio Brown, the only reason we're interested in you is because you are great, like one of the best ever at football. You had all this time off. You're going to show everyone what you did. Did you compose a symphony? Did you write a book? Like, what did you do? Did you organize in the community? Did you do something that's going to last? Did you start a record label that had any success? Like, anything at all? Like, was there any contribution made to the larger culture to show everyone we should be interested in you for another reason? So, like, no, I have zero confidence, that he'll last the season. And anyone who does have confidence is just basing that on the idea that, damn, he's got to have learned his lesson by now. I've thought that before. I won't get burned again.
It's not that I think that, Max. I think the situation will dictate it. I don't think Seattle, that works. I think you're absolutely right because they have weapons where they don't have to prioritize him in order to be successful. And I think that's where he'll fall off the rails. I think if he were to go to some place like Baltimore, where you're competing, you're winning football games, you could obviously be the difference. And you're clearly going to be the #1 target for Lamar Jackson when he elects to throw that football. I believe under those circumstances, there's a possibility that he can survive and last the season. #1, because he's a primary option. #2, because they're winning. #3, because he's highly motivated because he's in the same division as his former team, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers, in the same conference as the Oakland Raiders. So you might feel like you have scores to settle. All of those things, I think, are the best case scenario for him surviving. I'm not saying definitively that he would. But if you want to look at a situation and think, okay, what's the best chance that this guy has for lasting the entire season? It has to be with some place where he's needed as the primary option because you're going to prioritize him, and that will feed his ego. That would not happen in Seattle because that's DK Metcalf. That's going to be the primary target for Russell Wilson, and that ain't going to work there. In Baltimore, with Patrick Mahomes, you having to go up against Kansas City and those boys, if you're Baltimore, that's where you need an Antonio Holmes.
Well, I mean,
Antonio Brown.
Well, listen, in Seattle, he would just be a luxury.
Yes.
You know, he would be a luxury. And I'm always, I always pump the brakes of kind of bringing in pieces into your locker room that are questionable when things are going well. Yeah. Seattle Seahawks 5-0. They got issues on defense, but now you want to enter in a person that has a very sketchy past, has blown up in multiple organizations. Might I say, some of the what we call blue chip organizations in the National Football League, and he's found a way to run himself out the building. If I'm Seattle, I know you got Pete Carroll, I know you got Russell Wilson, but why would you want to introduce that when things are going well right now? The problems are on the defensive side of football, not on the offensive side of football. And let me ask you guys a question. When was the last time we seen meaningful football from Antonio Brown?
Couple years.
Couple years. The last time I checked, you only get good at football by playing football. You've been out of football for basically two years. And I get it. I understand Antonio Brown has a great work ethic. But, man, he hasn't played meaningful football since 2018.
Stephen A., hold on. I want to answer something you had to say. At first, it sounded good to me. Stephen A. is right. If he's just an extra part, it's not going to work. But if he's the primary, I think it's actually the opposite now that I'm thinking about it. You don't want to give this dude too much leverage. Maybe it works out better in Seattle because what you said, like, jogged that thought in my head. Maybe it works out better in Seattle because he's a luxury, because he knows he's expendable. If you put him in a situation...
Is he going to know he's expendable,
But if you put him in a situation where he's getting all these targets every game and he takes you to the next level, that gives him leverage.
Well, I would say this to you. I watched him. Let's give LeBron James and them a plug here. Their show, The Shop, on HBO. Maverick Carter. It's a good show. Executive producer, and Antonio Brown was there. And he was basically giving you some background on where he came from. He ain't playing second fiddle to nobody, not in his mind and in his heart. And to be honest with you, because he's so electrifying, you almost can't blame him if he believes he's the best in the world, because he has shown us in the past that he was. The reason why I hold on to that is because he ain't going to go any place and perceive himself as being second fiddle, which I think would be problematic for him when he's on that football field and he ain't getting the football. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.